Hello, I'm Pamela Davis. Welcome to episode 184 of the Well Done Life podcast. Hello, and welcome back to episode 184 of the Well Done Life podcast. I'm your host, Pamela Davis. If you have been here, hey, how are you? Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here with me this week. If you've been here before, you guys know the deal. I love you deep. Thank you so much for continuing to rock with me. Your support means everything. Before we dive into this week's episode, I want to take a moment to kind of set the foundation. If you've been here before, I'm sure I sound like a broken record, but for me, it's very important that before we dive into anything, you guys understand where I'm coming from and why we're here. And this space that I created, this safe space, I treat it like a house. And so I really believe that it's built on two very important foundations. One is clarity. The other is love. With clarity, it's really straightforward. I just want to make sure that you understand that the Well Done Life is a podcast and brand that I created for women. I believe that women are the foundation of society. I believe that we need places and spaces where we can be our most authentic self, where we can share, learn, and grow together and be inspired. So I'm really hopeful that by sharing my journey with you, the good and the bad of it all, that I inspire you to see that you know what, you can do it too, that you can overcome, and the fact that you can heal and also share your journey. Because when we give ourselves the opportunity to share and speak, we allow other people to be inspired by our stories, and we give them the strength to be able to share and seek as well. And then that creates this beautiful magic of women who are out here sharing authentically and inspiring each other. So that's what this is about. And then that leads me to my second foundation. It's my favorite foundation because I told you guys before, I'm a sucker for love. I believe in love. Love is the thing. And so everything that we do in this space is going to be rooted in love. And one of the most important things to me as it relates to love is that I pray for you. I think it's really important that, we are praying for each other. I truly believe in the power of two or more people coming together in prayer. And so I like to make sure that every week I send you prayers. And every week it is just, like I said, an opportunity for me to give you some of my heart, you to give me some of yours, and we can just create something beautiful in the world. And so this week with my prayers, I definitely want to pray for you to have peace. We are at the end of the first quarter. It's amazing how time has flown by, and we'll talk about that. So I hope that you are going into this second season, the second quarter, with a sense of peace over you, that you will find peace. It's been a very fast-paced year, and there's so many things that have been happening, and we have seen so much and experienced so much. I hope you carve out a moment for you to sit still. I hope you carve out a moment for you to get clear. I hope you carve out a moment for you to pray and just ask for, peace and grace over your life, because I want you to have that so that you can think clearly, so that you have an opportunity to regulate your body and your mind and your spirit as you prepare for this second quarter. And with that prayer of peace, I'm always going to pray for you to have love. I want you to be surrounded in love. And I'm talking real love, reciprocal love, the love that, pours into you just the way that you pour into it. And it's not about, keeping score or who does what more. It's just about being able to show up and be present for people in your most authentic way. Authenticity is rare in the streets. So is integrity. Audacity is running wild, but integrity is also is in short supply. So when you are surrounded by people who are integral, people who just want to see you win just for who you are with no ill intent, I want to make sure that you are loving on those people and that you are allowing that type of love to come into your life, because you deserve it. Don't let anyone tell you anything differently. You deserve to be surrounded in the best of love. So I'm really praying for you to have that. I'm also praying for you to have a prayer of stick-to-itiveness. I don't know if it's stick-to-itiveness is the word to say, or is it just the fact that you are standing on business? And when you are standing on business, that you have the stick-to-itiveness, that you have it about yourself, that you have it about your boundaries, that you have it about your values. Because like I said, audacity is running wild in the streets. And so you have to be able to have a moral compass. You have to be able to stand on business about you. You have to be able to stand on business about your boundaries, because we are at this level of life where we deserve to have the best in our lives, where we deserve to be out here being our most authentic self without fear of people preying on you. You want to have people pray for you, but not preying on you. And so you have to make sure that you are really getting clear about your boundaries, that you are really clear on your values, and that you are sticking to the plan, that you are sticking to the script, that you are not letting yourself be shaken by things or people that come into your life who may appear like they have the best of intentions, but may not. And I'm not saying that to be cryptic or anything like that. I'm just saying, as you are out here trying to move to your next level, to get better, you are going to come into contact with some people who don't have your best interest at heart. And it's not necessarily haters, because I don't prescribe to haters. I really think a lot of that, like I said before previously, a lot of people, we don't really have haters. We have people who are hurt, and hurt people like to hurt other people because they see that you are elevating, but they want you to stay where they are because they're comfortable. It's not about anybody's comfort as it relates to what you need in your life and the levels that you are trying to get. So you have to get very clear, because again, audacity is running wild, and you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself. You are protecting your energy. You are protecting your vision from anyone who could possibly deter you from that. And sometimes that means that you have to let people go that you didn't think that you were going to have to let go. And it can hurt, and it can be uncomfortable, and it can be frightening, but you have to have this faith. You have to trust. You have to know that if God is bringing something to you, it is so that you can move past it and get a better situation. So I hope you have, like I said, that stick-to-itiveness. I hope you have that clarity. I hope you are standing on boundaries and standing on business about yourself, so that you are not allowing yourself to be clouded, that you are not holding on to things that don't serve you, and you are teeing yourself up for this next quarter. Because in this next quarter, like I said, if Q1 has run through as quickly as it has, imagine what April, May, and June is going to look like. And so you need to make sure that you are surrounded by the right sort of people, the right sort of situations, the right sort of energy, so that you can be elevated to the levels that you need to go without distraction. Or that you will possibly be distracted, but you are so clear about what you need to do. You are so clear about your boundaries. You're so clear about the business that as it relates to you, that you are not going to be deterred, and that you can look past that and keep moving. So I am definitely, like I said, I am praying that you have the ability to stand on business, to stand on boundaries about you. And then kind of wrapping up my prayers, I always like to send abundance. I truly do believe that if you are financially abundant, you can be a gift to other people, but I do want you to be spiritually abundant as well, because peace is wealth. Health is wealth. There are so many different segments of wealth. I want you to be surrounded in it at all times. Just like love, you deserve to have abundance from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Anything that you think, speak, and touch creates abundant situations. So I am praying for that for you. And so those are my prayers for you this week. I'm very excited about being here and recording. I'm recording on Saturday, March the 30th at 10:15 p.m. Yep, I'm doing it a little bit late, but it took me a minute to kind of get to this point, and we'll talk about that. But I'm very glad to be here. It has been a crazy week, but I'm very grateful. And I just felt like, one of the things was I just couldn't let Q1 end without coming before you with a fresh episode. So I'm just very grateful to be in this position where we can have conversation, where we can talk, where we can bond, where we can clear up all the things and talk about all the things together. So kind of diving in, first and foremost, I definitely want to thank everyone for their support of episode 183 with Erica Parker of the Silken Company and Behind the Silk podcast. And we had a really great conversation in reference to her journey to entrepreneurship, as well as betting on herself. I mean, Erica is an amazing young woman, and she really shows the power of standing on business for yourself, because she has created a business, she has created a brand. And for her to be able to pivot from her career objective of being a forensic scientist to obviously now becoming a beauty and skincare maven and creating a space of wellness for women with her podcast, it definitely shows that, she really has the ability to be able to pivot when the dream wasn't what she thought it was going to be, and to be able to stand on business about the desire that she had to move forward in this new genre. So if you haven't had a chance to check out our conversation, I will definitely make sure I link it in the show notes. But like I said, I'm here, and this is officially the last Sunday of Q1. And there was just, like I said, no way that I could let it go, because I wanted to come before you because I wanted to try something different, just to be quite frank. I have been, I don't know how many of you guys use Threads, but I really like Threads a lot. It's one of my favorite places to be in. I kind of use Threads like my own personal journal because it's not toxic yet. I know that probably sounds crazy. It's not toxic yet. I don't really have a lot of followers. I'm growing organically, and I'm cool with that. And it just makes me feel good. And so I've been using it like a little personal journal, and kind of, recapping the days of the year and the things that I learned as we are going through. And I've learned some interesting things in this first 3 months of 2024. And like I kind of told you guys before, for me, I'm trying to be as intentional as I can about my year. And for me, this is the year of me being unshakable faith. It's my year of being audacious, with my goals and my vision. And it's a year of expansion for me. So I've definitely seen all of those words coming about in everything that I have encountered in this Q1. And if I were to sum it up, I would definitely say that all three of them have had to be utilized to get me to this point. And I'm very grateful for the steps that I have undergone and the lessons that I've learned. Because even though some things may have been kind of tough to deal with, they've been so beautiful in the sense that it could have been a whole different situation. Because, sometimes when you're learning things in life, it can be really devastating. You can learn them in tragedy or, really hard times. And I've been grateful, the situations have been grateful. God has been grateful and gentle with me to bring me to the point where I can learn lessons and recover. And he has surrounded me with resources. And so I just want to do my due diligence, do my hope, and kind of share, like I said, some of the things that I've learned. And hopefully you get a moment, as you are listening to this today or on Sunday, to maybe think about it on the last day on Easter, to think about, what are some of the things that you have learned over these past 3 months? And how are you going to allow those things that you've learned to project into you going into April, May, and June, or the second quarter of 2024? Because time, like we've kind of already established, time is moving. And this year is going to go by, I think, very quickly. So you want to make sure that you are giving yourself space to sit for a moment with the things that you have learned, and allowing yourself to kind of start to be very intentional about how you want to keep going. So this is my moment of intention, and I wanted to bring you guys along the journey with me. And so as I was preparing for this episode, I came up with about 7 things that I have learned over the course of this past 3 months. And if I think about it, I've learned more than 7, but these 7 have really been stand out to me. And so I definitely want, like I said, to kind of share them with you and hopefully inspire you, like I said, to kind of give yourself that same space. So the first thing that I've learned is that this year is going to move really, really fast. Like I've kind of already established that already. I don't think I need to beat that point to death anymore. But yeah, 2024 is not playing. I feel like it is going to just be over in the blink of an eye, and we're going to have lots of experiences along the way. So again, just taking moments like this, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to kind of sit in the stillness of it so that I can reflect and learn and be intentional as I go forth. And I definitely want you to allow yourself to have those same moments as well, because we got big things to do and we need to make sure that we are very careful. One of the things that I have learned is that age is truly just a number. I'm very grateful. This is my 51st rotation around the sun this year, and I feel good. I feel really good. I feel better than I've ever felt before, and I'm very grateful. 51 is fun. If I were to say anything, it's fun. It's freeing. I feel freer every year that I get older. I can only imagine what I'm going to be like at 52. Every year just gets a little bit less of my out of my fuck meter. Excuse my language. I really do. I get fresh out of fucks even faster after 50. And I don't know, obviously, again, excuse my language, but I really don't think there's a better way of saying it. And so I'm sure for those ladies out here who are probably in my age range, and you might be even a little younger, because I'll be honest, I started to become fuck deficient in my 40s. It is very, very refreshing to be at this point. And sometimes it's actually a little scary. I'm not even going to lie, because you become like so immune to stuff. I'm like, I'm checking myself like, Lord, please let me be emotionally available. I'm not trying to wall myself off, but it's just like, I've come to a point where I've recognized that I just cannot worry about other people's problems. I can't carry other people's weights. I have to allow people to be who they are. And when people show me who they are, I have to believe them, whether I want to believe it or not. And I'm learning how to move through things a little bit quicker. So I just kind of wanted to say that for everybody who's getting a little older, everybody who's looking at it, I promise you, age is relative. Age is just truly a number in reference to how you feel and what you think. But it definitely is freeing. And I'm very grateful to be at this place. And I just definitely want to continue to take time to be gentle with myself emotionally and physically, and just enjoy my life. And that's another thing. That's why I said age is just a number, because this is the time to enjoy your life. If you want to do something, go do it. If you want to build something, go build it. It does not matter how old you are, because there is always space for you. We allow ourselves to be held back by age, but age doesn't have to stop you. If you feel it, go do it, because God didn't plant that seed in you to go barren. He planted that seed in you because he believed that you were good enough. You're a good stock that you can go out here and go get it. So go get it. And even if it has to take you some time to get it, doesn't matter, because it's still your time. There still is space for you. There's still place for your voice. Age is relative. Never let age stop you from living the life that you were called to live, because there's still your time, no matter how old you are. And then another thing that I've learned is that it is important to share and stand on your vision, even when your voice shakes. I've been very upfront over this first 3 months, where I let you guys know that I'm going to be doing my first in-person event this year. It's called the Reset Experience. And I'm very excited about this event. I'm being able to create a space for women to be able to be imparted into. This is truly like leaving a part of my heart out here. And it is very scary, or was scary for me, and it's scary for me to put that out here, because, it literally is a part of me. And I've explained it before. I've been very intentional with how I want to cultivate this event, from the pillars to the speakers, very intentional. And when I put it out, I was so afraid, because again, you get scared that your vision won't be received. You get scared that your vision won't be seen, but you have to understand that your vision has space in this world. There is a place for you. There is an opportunity for you. Whatever it is that is inside of your heart, you should share it and stand on your business about it. Stand on it. Don't be afraid of the vision. Talk loudly about it. And that is something that I've been learning, on my journey, where I have to stand on it. I have to not be afraid of it. I've got to be willing to take risks for it, because I'm not doing it just to do it. I'm doing it because I know that there is my part of my destiny is tied to this, a part of my purpose. This is my purpose. And so I'm standing on it very strongly. Even when my voice shakes, I'm not giving up. Even when you have to make pivots, and we'll talk about that, I'm still not giving up, because I know what I know. I know that this was given to me by God, and this is my purpose. And if you feel that convicted, if you feel that led, you have to stand on it, even when it feels uncomfortable, because you know that this is what you called to do, and you have to surrender to it. So I am learning how to surrender to it, and I'm very grateful. And so I want you to learn how to surrender to your goals, to your vision, because I promise you, everything that you need is tied up in your surrender and your acceptance and your stick-to-itiveness, to your vision. And if you do not stand on it, there's no way that it can come to pass the way that it's supposed to. So you got to trust. You got to trust yourself. You have to trust God. You have to trust that this is your season, and you got to go for it. So go for it. One of the other things also that I've learned is that truth is being revealed every single day. And when I say truth is being revealed, it's like I'm talking about the trueness of situations. I'm talking about the trueness of people. Like, we have to recognize that true situations and people are exactly how they present themselves to be. And we can have rose colored glasses all day long, but it still does not change the situation or the person. And sometimes you have to be willing to put those rose colored glasses down and to see people and situations for what they are and move through them accordingly. Like, literally, it's just that simple. And I'm not, again, trying to say anything about people or all that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm clearly saying is that we have to be able to see things for what they are. We have to stop putting up blinders and rose colored glasses and making excuses to try to justify certain things. It doesn't serve us. That's why I'm bringing it up. It doesn't serve us. And that's one of the lessons that I've learned is that, like, it doesn't serve me to make situations better than what they are, to make people better than who they are. It serves me to see people for exactly who they are so that I can move accordingly. And it's not about, again, being negative or anything like that, because I'm just really not up for that kind of thing in any situation or by people. And I'm very fortunate. I feel like I have a really good group of people around me, and I've been able to make adjustments as needed to in my life where I need to move people out. And I'm working through that. But I've just, again, like I said, just recognize even more that it is just very important to get to a point where you see things for what they are. And we can't be afraid of the truth. We have to see it and we have to be able to process it and move accordingly. So get to that point where you are able to see it and move accordingly. It will save you so much stress, because I find that more stress comes from us trying to make people or situations into what we want them to be versus just accepting them for what they are and making decisions according to that truth. So stand in the truth, stand in it, be not afraid to look at it and recognize it and move on, however that serves you. One of the other things that I've also learned is that you cannot be afraid to reimagine your vision. And for me, that has like really been integral with the reset, because like I said recently, and maybe you all haven't heard, is I've made adjustments to the reset experience. And so I was going to have it on April the 20th, but now based upon those adjustments, I moved the event to August the 24th. And I'm going to talk more about it probably in the next week or two. But essentially, the reason I made that is because I had an opportunity to kind of sit in stillness and think about my vision. And I realized that, you know what, I have more to give. I had more to give. I had more to pull and from this, and I needed to reimagine it. I needed to kind of refocus my energy. I needed to look at this from a better place and recognize what I needed to really hone in on, who I needed to hone in on. And so I sat down and we made adjustments. And I moved that vision back from saying, hey, we got to start in April to August, because I needed just a little bit more time to put it out there, because this is my heart, this is my vision, this is my purpose. And if I'm going to do it well, I got to do it well. I got to go all in. So I'm all in. And it requires a different time. And I'm not afraid of that, because I know how I want my attendees to feel when you go to this event. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to build not just a one-time thing. I'm trying to build something that is going to be annually, that this is going to be a part of my vision long term. And so that means that when I come out, I need to make sure that I did it 20%. So I wanted to take some more time, and that's what I did. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm really grateful about it, because I'm not afraid to reimagine my vision. Don't be afraid to reimagine your vision. You'd be very surprised that when you reimagine your vision, how everything will fall into play. And we'll talk more about it, but I'm just so blessed as we've made these adjustments, how everything is just falling into play, which totally is like God's way of saying, like, hey, I'm so glad that you took this time. I'm so glad that you're really, going for it and really sticking to the plan and really going for the vision. So I'm going for it, and I can't wait to share that with you. But I wanted to make sure I shared at least this point so that you would understand it's okay to reimagine your vision. Everything doesn't have to go one way. It is possible that you may need to spend a little more time before you come out versus running out to chase a date. Don't chase the date, chase the vision. Because a lot of times, the vision is where the greatness is. It's not the date. It's all about making sure you're chasing the people and chasing the purpose. And so chase that, because if that's what you focus on, then those people are going to be blessed and it's going to be fruitful and multiply. So again, don't be afraid to reimagine your vision. And then I only have two more, but one of them is that everyone doesn't love you, and they don't love you the way you love them. How about that? Let me say it again. Everyone doesn't love you, or better yet, they don't love you the way you love them. And I really think that's pretty straightforward. But again, that probably can go along with the truth is being revealed every single day. We just have to understand that, there are people in our lives who don't love you the way you love them. And it's okay. It's really that simple. It really is okay. And it's not an indictment. It doesn't mean anyone's a bad person. Any of that. It's just coming to the realization that some people don't love you the way that you love them. And based upon that, you need to make adjustments. You need to make decisions. You need to see things for what they are and move accordingly. And that is just something that I have been reminded of. And again, I think that it's something to say because sometimes as people, we naturally will pour and love on somebody to make them see us. And you cannot make someone see you. You cannot make someone love you the way that you love them. You just can't. You have to be willing to let people be. And it's so hard because we just want everybody sometimes to be exactly who we want them to be. But they can't be that. We have to let people be who they are. We have to accept that people sometimes cannot love you the way that you love them. And that is not a reflection of you. That's just where they are in this space and time. And that's okay. Because if you let them go, I promise you, the people who will love you the way that you love them, and even more so, will come into your life. Trust that. That's the best thing I can say. Trust that. And so I wanted to make sure I shared that with you because it's an important lesson to learn. And I really want you to really think about that. And then my final thing is that life is amazing and God is amazing. These first 3 months of the year have truly shown me how beautiful life is, how amazing God is. I am so grateful to be surrounded by so much love in my life. I have some amazing people. I have a beautiful family. I'm very grateful for all that God has done. God gave me breath to see my 51st year. He helped me make it. I'm just so grateful. I just have to sit in the moment of it, of gratitude, and just to think of all the things that I have been accomplishing and the things that I will accomplish and do even more so of. I'm just in awe. So I wanted to make sure that it's on the Lord's Day, especially on Resurrection Sunday, I have to thank God for the sacrifice. I have to thank God that Jesus rose and that we are redeemed in him. And that he loves us so. He gave his only begotten son and he came again and rose for us. I'm just grateful. I'm very grateful to be in this space and to be in this time. And so I wanted to make sure that I said that because no matter what's going on, God is still good. Life is still amazing and blessings are still flowing. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves of those things, especially in situations where we're feeling our soul being tested and tried, or we're struggling with certain things. Like, we cannot lose sight of the fact that we are still being blessed. And so I wanted to make sure that I ended it that way because no matter what, God is still able. And we are still being blessed. And I'm just very grateful. And life is amazing. And I'm very excited to see what this next 3 months is going to bring. It is, I'm sure, going to be an adventure. And so I hope that you, like I said, will give yourself a moment to think of the things that you've learned over this past 3 months. And that you will take an opportunity to look back at those lessons and think about how you're going to apply them going into, the second quarter. I know for myself, I just plan on trying to be a little bit more wiser, a little bit more open and pliable about things that I need to change and grow. I definitely will make sure I continue to lead with love, but with discernment. And I will continue to give God the glory for all of it, because I know that with God, I am covered. So I pray that with you, that you are covered, that you, like I said, give yourself the space and time to do that same thing, because it will motivate you. It will bless you as you move forward. And so, yeah, that's my episode. I know it's a shorter episode this week, but, I know it's Easter, and I hope you guys are spending it with friends and family, that you are loved and relaxed. And I just hope that this is an amazing Easter for you and your family, and blessed. I will definitely be back with next week with a brand new episode. I cannot wait to talk to you all. So please take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.